Howdy, with this video, I want to go over the MLA medical essay and also show you how to do journal entry number 8. It requires you to go to the Northeast State databases, and I want to show you how to do that. Looking at the schedule, we're on spring break. I'm doing this video on Monday, March 8th. So hopefully everybody's getting a little rest. It's only, unfortunately, spring break's only 2 days this semester, but a little break's better than none. For Thursday, the 11th, journals 7 through 9 are due. We'll talk about those here in a second. On the 15th, the annotated bibliography is due. The bibliography just shows me where you're doing your research and what kind of sources you're finding. It's a good way to make sure you have a good topic. If you're not finding any sources on a particular topic, you got a problem with this essay. So, and also once you have that annotated bibliography done, your works cited page is basically done. So it's kind of a handy tool. One of those things you don't ever want to do, but once you're done, you're glad you did it, kind of things. On the 18th, the first 3 paragraphs of the essay are due to me. Just going to make sure you're on the right track there. Excuse me. And then on 22nd, hopefully I should have that career essay back to you. And you're going to revise that, post it in ePortfolio, and take what you're learning from there and apply it to the medical essay. And obviously, you're going to have questions. You may have questions or things like that. But on the 25th, the draft's due to Ms. Shell. We're going to give her some time to look at those. These are longer essays, a little more involved. Then you're going to revise it based on her feedback and send it back to me, just like we did with the career essay. Now take a look at the MLA formatting and things like that. And then the final version's due on April 5th. Then there's only one more essay after that. So we're right on schedule there. For the essay assignment, it's up here under essay assignments. There's the MLA medical research essay. I already have it pulled up, but also here's the annotated bibliography assignment. It's right there under the essay assignments area as well. To pull up the essay itself, if I can make this a little bit bigger, you're going to write a 1,250-word narrative research essay on the medical topic of your choice. The trick to this essay is you're going to tell someone's personal story with this medical issue, and then put the research into the context of that story. So over half of this essay should be that narrative, you telling someone's story, the story of someone you know or yourself, and putting the research into, again, the context of that story. And that's what makes this essay interesting to read. On my side, I can have two or three essays on breast cancer, and each one's going to be completely different because you're telling the story of someone different. So all these essays are going to be kind of unique and interesting, hopefully to write and to read. But make sure you're kind of thinking about that topic. One, you want to make sure you have that person's permission to write about them. We are sharing this. We're not publishing it on the open internet, but I can't guarantee you other students aren't going to read it. So make sure you ask that person's permission. And also, we're going to be using images in this one. Don't use someone else's images if you don't have their permission, right? Just kind of consider that early on. But with this essay, should have a lot more than 5 paragraphs. It may just be 8, 9 paragraphs. But you should be going beyond that 3-point thesis, 5-paragraph kind of format, which we've already done with the career essay. You should have a minimum of 3 authoritative sources. You should attempt to use at least 2 sources from the Northeast State databases. That doesn't always work, but you should start there first. And we're going to see you trying to do that with the annotated bibliography as well. It's a hard word to say. Other sources can be any reliable sources. For example, if you're doing lung cancer, the American Lung Association has some good information. The American Cancer Society might have good information. Don't go to Wikipedia or Billy Bob's Auto Repair and Lung Cancer site, unless Billy Bob's a licensed physician dealing with these issues on a daily basis. But generally, you should be looking for authoritative, peer-reviewed medical sources. I'm going to show you the databases here in a second, and that's a good place to find them. Generally want to avoid books. It depends on your topic. But generally, by the time a book is, the concepts, they come up with the concept, they approve it, somebody writes it, that finally gets published, edited and published. Then it's got to sit in our library for a while. It can be some dated information if you're not careful. So be careful there. You should have at least 2 images in the essay. You're going to have to cite the source of the images, unless they're your personal photos, which you still need to count for those. They don't count as the 3 required sources, but the sources should be listed on the works cited page. So even though it only says 3 sources, you may end up having 5, 6, 7 sources once you get into the images and if you're going to interview people and things like that. Long quote, short quote, summary, and paraphrase, all the punctuation, figurative language. You want to kind of avoid use that maybe as a hook in the first paragraph. And you look at the sample essay for, I think, journal number 7. You're going to see she kind of hooks you into, have you ever lost your keys? Have you ever done this? And of course, somebody my age is like, yeah. Says, oh, that's normal, but I'm going to talk about dementia. Don't use it. If you're talking about yourself, obviously you're going to use I within the essay. But make sure you're kind of thinking about the topic. You're going to have to narrow it down a little bit. You can't, if you're going to talk about somebody's battle with Alzheimer's, it's going to be hard to do that in such a short essay. And I know it doesn't feel short when you're writing it. But trying to go like 5-10 years worth of personal experience, you're not going to be able to do that in 1,200 words. So you may end up narrowing down the topic to dealing with somebody in stage 3 Alzheimer's, which might actually be more of an essay about your family's experiences than the person going through it. Or you might just, going through the diagnostic stage of Alzheimer's. Also keep in mind with topics, it doesn't have to be life or death. I've had good ones on peanut allergies, teen acne. I had one on feline leukemia. Obviously, the guy couldn't interview his cat, but he talked about what they can do to save cats from this particular problem. And basically, the focus of his essay was his experiences with this cat and how much money it cost him, and it cost him a lot of money to deal with this sick cat, right? I don't recommend that. It gets kind of hard because the cat can't talk back to you. But you kind of go with your own experiences a little bit. Again, you're talking about your own experience or the experience of someone you know. You can't talk about Tiger Woods' car accident, for example. You don't know Tiger Woods. You can't interview him. No, it has to be you telling someone's story, and you're going to be kind of the authority there. So it may take a topic or two. It may take a narrowing down that topic quite a bit to get to a good one that you can do with 1,250 words. Again, it sounds like a lot of words, but it's not much longer than that career essay. It's not really not much longer than that self-regulated learner essay once you add the sources and all that stuff to it. So you want to keep a good narrow topic so you can have a good focused essay. All right. For the journal entries that are coming due, internet's a little slow today for some reason. Number 7, you're going to go to the sample research essay. That one's on dementia. This one, it's probably a little bit longer than one you're going to do. But notice how she's telling someone's story and putting the research into the context of that person's story. That's what makes it reading that kind of interesting. It's kind of scary too. It's not a pleasant topic. Then I want you to kind of talk about the topics you're thinking about. This will give me a chance to kind of say, hey, can you narrow it down to this? Or are you sure you can make this work? Sorry. For number 8, I want you to go to the Northeast State databases, and that's what I'm about to show you here, and find 3 possible sources for your MLA medical essay. I want you to create a properly formatted works cited space for these 3 sources. So this might be one entry that's not 150 words. The other one should be, obviously. Then I'm kind of looking forward to the end of the semester a little bit and registering for summer and fall, and want to kind of see what your plans are there. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of schedule they come up with COVID and all that. So let's look at number 8 here. To go to the Northeast State databases, you want to go to the Northeast State homepage, not the D2L homepage. You want to come to the actual Northeast State homepage at northeaststate.edu, and you're going to go to the Students tab and down to Library. Make that bigger. I don't think I'm 100% there. Go down to Library, and that should pop up. Then we're going to go to Online Databases. It's up here on this tab here on the right side. And then we're going to go to H for the health and wellness databases. Health and medicine is a good one. Health and wellness is probably even better. This health and wellness database is designed for college and high school students doing research on medical topics, like you. So we're going to click on here. And the nice thing about this one is generally, it generally has peer-reviewed articles. Many of them are written kind of at our level. Sometimes you get into articles that they're doctors writing to doctors. It gets a little technical. If you're off campus, and the odds are you are, you need the password. If you changed your password to get with D2L, you have to go back to that original password. This is actually your Northeast State password, not D2L password. So if you're trying your D2L password and it's not working, maybe go back to that birthday and 6 digits. All right. There's different ways to do this. You can come down here to diseases and condition. You have a fairly common, excuse me. You have a fairly common condition. This is the best way to go. You can do a search. If you're not pulling up anything, and you may have misspelled something, you have to spell it exactly right. So be careful there. But we're going to come down here to diseases and conditions. And you're going to see a bunch of conditions listed here. Let's try lung cancer. And one, you'll get an overview. Then you can click on read more. Also notice it's kind of a nice short article. Tells you the different types, the symptoms, diagnosis, and this is kind of what you're going to be getting into in your essay. Generally, a medical condition requires a process, right? You're normal, happy, and healthy. Then you start getting symptoms. Then you go to the doctor, get diagnosed, and then you got to get your treatment. And you're going to kind of follow this basic pattern there, right? Then kind of the future. The nice thing about this, it has links to other good sites, the American Cancer Society, the National Cancer Institute, all kinds of good stuff. And the best part about this is you can come down here and it'll do your works cited page entry for you. And this is what I'm looking for with journal entry number 8. You're just going to copy that. And then we're going to go to a Word document. And you're just going to cut and paste that in there for journal entry number 8. I wonder what's going to happen when you're going to have to go back and do the hanging indents and the double spacing. But boom, well, I don't know why it's I don't know why it's doing that. But that's what I'm looking for journal entry number 8. And you're going to find 2 other sources on the databases. You can come back and go to the previous page and come down here and see what you have over here. The Gale Encyclopedia of Cancer is a good source. Again, it's an encyclopedia designed for students doing research on medical topics. So we'll try that one, see what happens. I think those are more for drugs. Let's come here to reference. But if you get into treatments, I don't know what some of these are, to be honest. I'm an English teacher. But again, if you look at it, you may go through this topic, this article, and decide you don't want it. It may have some good images for you to use in your essay. But it's talking about a particular procedure. But again, you can come down here, kind of copy and paste that, get that into that's the whole thing. What do we do? The irritating part's when you have to. There we go. But there I have 2 sources for my essay right there. They're already on in MLA formatting. The works cited page there is kind of done. I'm not sure why it's going to the next level for wellness there. It probably shouldn't, but that's fine. I'm not worried about that too much. And that's the neat thing about the database is one, you get peer-reviewed sources that are really, really good. And 2, it shows you how to do the works cited page. So it's kind of neat there. So that's kind of what I'm looking for journal entry number 8. I want 3 sources like that. Doesn't mean you have to use them in your essay, but I wanted you to kind of show me you can use the databases and that you're seeing the advantage of these databases. One other advantage, once you pass Comp 1 and you might be moving on to a class that wants APA format, which is a different form of formatting, just like MLA. boom, it automatically does that for you. So it's just a neat little tool there with the citation generator. And that's what we're trying to learn to use a little bit. We're trying to learn to use the databases and the citation generators and make our lives easy, or at least easier. The nice thing, once you have one up there, you can kind of see the format, and MLA becomes maybe, hopefully, a little bit easier. But that's what I'm looking for with the journal entries. That's what I'm going to be looking for with the annotated bibliography for next Monday as well. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. And again, with these topics, it doesn't have to be life or death. It's not something that's like, well, I've never had cancer. I don't know anybody who's had any kind of horrible illness. Well, just the fact you were born means your mother went through a fairly serious medical situation. Childbirth is can be a very good topic. You have to narrow it down. You can't do all 9 months of a pregnancy and the child and the birth process at the same time. You're not going to have enough words for that. But something like that can work. But if you're having trouble, let me know. I'll try and help you. Again, I don't know your life, so I can't tell you what to write about, but I can start offering suggestions, especially if you're down to I got 2 or 3 topics I'm thinking of, which one do you think would work best? I'm happy to look at that. And that's kind of what we're doing here with journal number 7 as well. So again, if you have questions, let me know, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.